Hey guys, I'm Kayla and I'm going to start vlogging about the Disney College program, and where else to start but the application process. My application process was fairly easy. I applied in October, which is like the end of the application period. Some people say it's better to apply at the end, some people say apply right away. I personally don't really think it matters, but I applied like 2 or 3 days before they closed the application, so take with it what you will. So applying for the Disney College program is like applying for any other job online. You enter in your resume, you enter in your school information, you type in like whether you're going to need like citizenship sponsor from Disney. So it's really, for the majority of it, it's like a regular application. But then where it differs is you have to enter in your desire for each role at Disney World or Disneyland. So you type in whether you have none, low, moderate, or high desire for any of the roles. So like quick serve, lifeguarding, seater, park greeter, attractions, really any of the roles. You type in how much you're interested in doing them. You also enter in what resorts you want to work at, if you're willing to go to California and work at Disneyland, or Florida for Disney World. And you also figure out, say if you're willing to do the regular or the Advantage program, where regular is more of, it's 3 to 4 months, whereas the Advantage program, I'm in Spring Advantage, it's 6 months from February to August. So on my resume personally, I talked about how my experiences, which I think may help. I don't know if you want to find your own experiences where you live like this, but I put in that I worked at a movie theater, because I still do it. Typed in that I do concessions for there. I put in that I worked at a daycare with little kids, and that I tutored at my university. So then after you type in your application and everything and submit it, then you get an email about the web-based interview. So I got my email for a web-based interview almost immediately. It can vary depending on how busy like the servers are or whatever, how quickly you get your web-based interview. So for the web-based interview, it asks you questions like what would you do scenarios, like if you're checking out a customer and you have a customer that needs help and the phone starts ringing, what order do you do what things? Questions like that. Then you also have personality questions. It's agree or disagree, like a scale of like 1 to 5, with questions like I'm a team player or I'm lazy, and you say to what you agree or disagree with that statement. So obviously with those, like the personality ones, you can kind of tell what they're looking for a DCP member. But so yeah, you also get 30 seconds or so to 30 or 45 seconds or so to answer each question. So you kind of have to do it quickly, but you also don't want to rush through it. You don't want to pick random answers just to get through your web-based interview quickly, because they do re-ask questions later on to see if you enter in the same answer. So after the web-based interview, my application and my web-based interview both took place on a Tuesday. So almost immediately after, or no, maybe not almost immediately, an hour or so after my web-based interview, I got an email about scheduling for a phone interview. I scheduled my phone interview for the upcoming Friday because it was a time when I had a lot of time clear and it would just be best for me. We talked about jobs that I put like moderate and high interest in. We talked about PhotoPass. I can't remember exactly what questions he asked me regarding PhotoPass, but I know it's like kind of, why do you want to do PhotoPass? And I put, because I'm interested in photography and I know my way around a DSLR camera. So I have experience with that, but I think with PhotoPass you also want to be careful. They don't want people who are like too in photography, because they want all the pictures to be the same. Like every single picture, no matter the photographer, in the same place, they want them all to be the same. So they don't really want like artistic photographers. So we also talked about childcare activities because, like I said, I have experience in working in a daycare. I don't remember all of the questions that she asked me about childcare activities, but I do remember one, and it was like, what would you do if you're in charge of 20 kids in a room with like no games, no electronics, no anything? What would you do to keep these kids entertained and contained, not go crazy? We also talked about attractions because I put high interest in that because I really, 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 really wanted to work on Jungle Cruise. Okay, that was like that was my dream, was to work on Jungle Cruise because I love Jungle Cruise so much. You don't understand. So I try to casually mention, you know, on your resume you can also enter in extracurriculars. So I talked about how I did theater and how I've done. My theater company does monologues every summer, so I've done that for like 3 years in a row. Talked about how I'm really good at delivering spiels and everything, and that obviously that didn't help me because I didn't get attractions. Surprisingly, we actually didn't talk a lot about the role that I actually got, which was quick service food and beverage, which is like Disney's version of fast food. So we didn't talk a lot about that, but overall the interview felt more like a conversation than an actual interview. It didn't feel overly formal. It didn't feel like stiffy. It really did feel just like a conversation with somebody over the phone. So my phone interview, like I said, happened on a Friday. I got my congrats email the following Thursday, and a thing that I didn't know you had to do was you have 2 days to confirm or deny your acceptance. So if you're on the fence about doing the program, this is kind of stressful because you have to figure it out in 2 days and like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? So yeah, 2 days to figure it out. At this point you also figure out what role you're going to do, but not where you work. So I found out that I'm going to be doing quick serve food and beverage, which is, like I said, the fast food restaurants of Disney. So I know that's what I'm going to be doing, but my program is less than a month away and I still don't know where I'm going to work, just what I'm going to be doing. I don't even know what park I'm going to be at or what resort I'm going to be at. You don't find that out until 2 weeks before you go down, somewhere in there. So that was my Disney College Program application experience. The whole thing for me took less than 2 weeks from start to finish. But please keep in mind that my experience isn't going to be everybody's experiences. Some people, their acceptance happened sooner, but a lot of times it happens a lot slower. So yeah, so what happened to me isn't going to happen for everybody else. If you have any questions about the Disney College Program, just drop them down in the comments below and I'll answer you back. So yeah.